precious cargo to move, it's important to have a team that's dependable. That gets it there on time in the condition you want.
I've played on a number of teams in my time, but I can tell you nobody wins without teamwork.
When I played football, if we had to get somewhere in a hurry, we looked for the fastest, most dependable route. It was usually a matter of giving the ball to someone who knew how to move it through the air, and then getting it to someone who knew what to do with it on the ground. We used the combination we could depend upon.
Now we're seeing a new kind of dependability in the business of moving the world's product. It's called the Total Air Freight System, and it's tuned to the 70s to your needs and mine. They have goods and equipment, large and small, move quickly, safely, economically.
What makes this system go is that for the first time it combines the best of an air freight motor carrier with the best of airline carriers. Skilled professionals on the ground and in the air. Pros who really know what they're doing.
You see, this baby has cut the world down to size. It's changed the way we talk about distance.
If you have to ship something coast to coast, you no longer need to think in terms of 3,000 miles. Now you think about 5 hours. You know you can move something out at night and have it at your destination ready for business or whatever the required use the following morning on a same morning delivery basis. What this means is that you can move your cargo, whether it's a large shipment of complex machine tools or some delicate china or the golf clubs you left behind. Using specially modified equipment that mates perfectly with these airplanes, the air freight motor carrier can unload an entire aircraft in a half hour. It's out of the plane and moving quickly toward the customer and on an around-the-clock basis 7 days a week. Moving freight was never meant to be an 8-to-5 life. Now we can put together the speed and capacity of the modern jet and the updated mobility, compatibility, and capacity of a ground system that is second to none. Now this combination, partners in on-time delivery, goes together to make this the best team we've ever put on the... The idea behind the system is simple. It says, keep the cargo moving. There are no warehouses involved. We're not in the storage business. We want to keep the shipment moving. First on the ground to plane side, then through the air, then again by ground to your destination wherever it may be in the world. The key here is door-to-door service. Let's say you need to get some critical exhibit equipment overnight from one point to another. Speed is essential. The air freight motor carrier system reduces your job to making one phone call. That's all it takes, one phone call. You call either the airline of your choice or your air freight motor carrier office. Either one will handle it. Your material will be picked up by a dependable air freight motor carrier. Rush to the airport that has the next flight headed for your destination. Your cargo is carefully controlled, logged into the system by computer. Paperwork is minimal. You know from the minute your shipment is picked up exactly where it is. The people you have on the other end awaiting the shipment also know where it is and when to expect it. Carefully noted on the control sheet is what happens when the cargo arrives at its destination. Is it to be delivered? If so, when? And where? Is it to be picked up? Full control from door to door is maintained. In many cases, a great deal of the story takes place at night. These are frequently the hours during which produce, clothing, and thousands of other items are loaded aboard jet freight carriers and move thousands of miles while a nation sleeps. The air freight motor carrier system uses every minute on the clock every day. And in the case of flights from the East Coast to the West, even stretches that clock a few extra hours because of the time change.
The air freight motor carrier system has grown up. To some, it was probably once a novelty, or maybe an emergency resource when you absolutely had to get something somewhere in a hurry. It's not that way any longer. We're rapidly approaching the 21st century way of doing business. I'll show you what I mean. It's economical, it's reliable, it's convenient, and the savings in time are unbelievable. When you change that into dollars and cents, you have the real plus of this kind of system. This aircraft and others like it represents part of the team. The other part is on the ground. And if you don't think that air freight motor carriers have kept pace with the jet age, you're in for a pleasant surprise.
We didn't really have much choice. The airlines came up with the ability to move more freight at higher speeds. Unless we looked ahead, had some vision, made some adjustments to meet this new capacity, unless we did these things on the ground, the only result would have been mountains of freight stacking up at the terminal and not getting to its destinations on time. So one of the unique changes we developed is this multiple trailer system. We can string together almost any number of units and move the entire cargo of a 747 over 100 tons using only one power unit. In fact, for convenience, if one customer shipper has a particularly large load that fills one of these trailers, we can drop off the entire trailer at his stop and move on to the next destination. The whole thing is designed for customer use and convenience. This system is today's and tomorrow's answer to moving air freight. Some call it a wingless airplane, others call it a trackless train. Some may get concerned about it because they've never seen anything like it. Yet, we don't think anything of seeing one engine pull a string of railroad cars. It's a matter of getting used to something new. Seems to me we had the same trouble in our history getting used to a lot of things that were new at one time.